Recording to go. So, so it starts with this summer SOILstice, and we're just, it's an experiment, right? For us to see how we can create an interactive, immersive, intervolutionary summer camp, right? Or just a camp for teens and kids. We're focusing on teens with this one. And we're kind of like thinking also is how do we integrate the idea of astrology into education, right? And making it holistic and integrative. So with agricultural astrology, it's like, okay, how does astrology connect to agriculture? How does it connect to our cultures too? And all of our cultures from all around the world, right? And so we also start to understand earth, wind, fire, and water and how that works in the ecosystem, kind of like tapping into that. And one of the things that we've been contemplating, a way to kind of come full circle and vortex toroidal kind of thing, is like, what if the kids actually learn that about their own astrology, their own human design, but they integrate that into an NFT that they can create, like an art piece that they can create about themselves.
Cool.
Kind of like there's Pokemon cards, but they are their own Pokemon card, right?
I love that.
Based on their astrology. And so all the play shops are kind of ways they can improve on that. And so one of the things that we're going to be focusing on with this camp is creating elemental guilds. So like, what are you, by the way, Autumn?
Pisces.
So you're a water element, right? So right away, so whether you're balanced or not, it would be helpful for you to kind of tune into water-based play shops, right? Or maybe to connect with fire play shops to balance the water or whatever, right? We can configure things however they are. But the elemental guilds is kind of like the sorting hat in Harry Potter, right? So the kids, we can right away start to sort the teenagers out, right? And be like, all right, like let's see, let them also explore. What does it feel like to be with like-minded and in relationship with others? So then here's like some of the play shops, like Sarissa, she's out in Hawaii, but she's an alchemist. She actually has a business called Remedial Magic, and she does all kinds of tinctures and tonics to help with all kinds, and she does vocal tuning as well. So she's going to be introducing like how do you create your own potions, like how do you create your own elixir, right? For like, if you're stressed out, or if you're like angry, or if you're sad, right? Or if your friends are that way. Tizzle, we call her Miss Tizzle because she's our Miss Frizzle, but she's Tizzle. She actually has a few of her students, because she teaches at Cal State Long Beach, but she teaches art education there. So she has some students that are there. They're going to be jumping in volunteering as well. Fantastic. And helping her facilitate an earth art play shop where they're going to be using art, like actual earth elements to create art, right? Learning how you don't need to buy paint, right? You can connect to the soil and make paint. I'm going to be doing a neuroplasticity play shop, not just connecting neuroplasticity, but also connecting like that relationship with fungi and the earth and the soil, and how we also have neuroplasticity, but fungi also have neuroplasticity with each other. Just creating those relationships, but also having fun. We're going to be laughing and connecting with each other and learning all these cool tools that I love sharing. And then we're going to be doing a food for thought during when we get to lunchtime. It's going to be like a gratitude meditation, but we're going to go into the ancestors. We're going to go into our descendants. We're going to go into where the food, the farmers, like just going into that storytelling aspect of our food, right? Really connecting with it. This also, we're kind of open, all of these things, we're still like configuring these. So something like this could also be like interesting if we have an element of cooking. Like what if we got some of the kids to cook, right? So, and then eco sensing, Mick's going to tell you a little bit about that in a second, but like, Mick will share more of what his background is in a second, but with eco sensing, it's really about like tapping into the animals, right? As well. And how the animals with the elements and the astrology, how that all comes into play too, within ourselves too, right? Relationships with each other. And then the science and power of water. Obviously we know with like how water affects, like all kinds of things, but this is also really powerful to connect with them about like how maybe they might learn, because we're going to be on a regenerative farm, maybe they learn how to do some water things at their homes, like how they can turn gray water or whatever, right? All kinds of stuff. And then, this is kind of just like our thing. We have like winds, we have needs, we kind of different ideas that are going to come in the future. But, you can see this is really playful. Like, I'll share this with you later. If you want to start adding, if you want to add a play shop of your own, like you have ideas, you can like kind of play with this. We're really just being really interactive and adaptive and everything with it. Any questions?
No, I love it. And just, I mean, I think it's absolutely brilliant. What comes to mind is I think, like you said, a cooking element would be awesome. And also potentially like a dance element or something that really lets them be free and creative in that way.
Yeah, I dig that. Definitely dancing.
Yeah, because that just really pulls you into the body. I think that could be a cool element.
I like that. Yeah, if you have any idea, I mean, ecstatic dance, obviously we all know and love.
And
Ecstatic,
that's so easy because there's no structure involved and it's so accepting and free.
totally. And
So that could be
a
something.
part of it is us like embodying it, right? Like, because you know how teens are.
Yeah, they'll look at you like you're crazy, but then as soon as they see you having fun, they'll jump in.
Yeah, they're like, wait, whatever that person is, I have feeling. I want to feel that too, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna try it too.
It'll take them a minute, but they'll jump in.
Mick, Charlie, can I propose challenging you to explain who Mick is real quick to Autumn?
Okay, so Mick is this awesome, like science meets art meets like maker studio. Like he's really good with being able to bridge together like the art space, but really like the science too. Like he knows the science really well, and then he right now he also has like a maker studio. So he works at UCLA and he helps with a lot of students, but he's got like a really cool place where he's built stuff for us too. So he's really good with that, but he's also had hosted his own art classes for us too and really connected with the kids. But I mean, he loves all the spiritual stuff too. So he really kind of mixes a lot of these like things that don't necessarily come together. It really does come together when like you hear it from his perspective. And it's been really
Fantastic.
good. Yeah, like art to be able to express everything, even in science, right? Like there's so much art in science and he really kind of really
Absolutely.
brings it together. So Mika has been great in doing that. And he's been around with a lot of kids too. Like he's around all kinds of different level ages kids.
And he's like super focused the past couple years on regenerative farming and permaculture.
That's
Like
right.
he's been
Yeah.
studying it, bringing it, like
Some great
integrating that
combination.
into his classes with kids as well.
Yeah.
So cool. Well, nice to meet you, Mick. I'm Autumn.
You're muted, Mick.
Nice to meet you, Autumn. Yeah, no, thanks for the intro, Charlie. Yeah, it was actually just like listening while stretching a little bit. It was a long day with wrapping up things at the school. I work at a all girls school. We were like making lots of things for the graduation ceremony today.
Oh, beautiful.
Did he
Yeah,
graduate today?
there was an 8th grade recognition ceremony, but there's a student that he so it's an all girls school, but a lot of non-binary students. So he's wanted to do some sashes for his Latinx affinity club. So we were printing those out with an embroidery machine we have there.
Oh,
So
nice.
it's kind of cool.
Embroidery
Yeah.
machine
Nice.
too?
Can I ask what
Yeah.
it is?
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, I know. Like learning new software on the fly with this one too. Like, oh wait, how do we translate an image to an embroidery code file that it's going to read in this machine? I'm like, yeah, there are a lot of little hiccups, but it was fun.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, you're such a nerd. You're such a nerd, Mick.
Aren't we all?
I know, right?
Yeah.
It used to be. I used to be so like ashamed when people called me that as a kid, and now it's like a cool thing. It's like, oh, I'm a
Yeah,
nerd. Awesome,
thank
thanks.
you.
Yeah, nerds rule the world. That's what I grew up with.
Yeah. Well, and so I'll introduce Charlie then. Charlie is a nerd extraordinaire.
Double introduction today, Charlie.
I went all the
Oh, you already
angles.
got it. You already got an introduction. Oh, okay, David.
Yeah,
never
Indy
No,
gave
go
me
for it,
a
though,
really
Mick,
good
go
one.
I would love to
I'd
hear it still.
Yeah.
I thought you said that you wanted us to introduce each other. Okay.
Well, it's interesting because then, Indy knows me from a different aspect too. So it'd be cool to hear like your version of it.
Yeah, Mick.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So Charlie's approaching the world again, like from so many different perspectives. But ultimately, I think what drives Charlie and kind of connects us all is this really the search for wholeness and healing in many aspects, and also the kind of the creative relationship to all of those things. So it's never going to be boring and dry with Charlie. Like he's figuring out like all the creative angles to make wholeness and healing super fun and like
Mhm.
spark in your brain. You know, he's got a lot of fire. You know, so like constantly sparking all these ideas. And you know, through the board game that he's developed, through VR games that he's developed, all related to astrology, and then the card games for learning in his own herbalism classes and traditional Chinese medicine classes, right? So he's like using all of this gamification to enrich this quest of healing and wholeness for the world, really. Yeah. So
Beautiful.
Thank you, Mick. That's awesome. Yeah, we didn't bring up the board game, but earlier, I'm making a board game for really gamifying and kind of creating a self-contained classroom for the TCM space, where eventually I do believe that traditional Eastern medicine and eventually what used to be our old regular medicine will become the more dominant force in medicine. So I want to be able to make that simpler and easier and more engaging, because I don't believe that medicine should be so difficult. I think medicine was already what our grandparents were doing to us.
Yep.
So for it to be like only white coat people is really annoying. So I'm hoping to really, you know, just like we are with Cosmic Labyrinth, we're trying to make learning fun again. Like, what happened to learning and having
We should
fun
make that a
learning?
hat.
Yes, making learning fun again. Yes. Or a t-shirt.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Well, what about you, Autumn? I guess did you already introduce yourself?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll do it again. So I am passionate about all things earth and healing and consciousness. And my goal has been studying how what we eat and how we think affects just our everyday experience. So I actually studied behavioral neuroscience at UCLA. And now I have a vegan cookie company that I'm currently scaling. Yeah.
Cool.
What's it called?
It's called Autumn Supernatural. I'm currently rebranding. So I took everything down and I'm putting everything back up. But
And one of the things when you join like this particular community, we want to encourage like also collaborating and supporting each other in our own individual pursuits. Like we come together collectively, but if we can offer any support, I mean, between me and Charlie, between us, we have crazy experience when it comes to like website design, development,
amazing.
blah, blah, marketing. And then you have an artist and you have other people in here too. They're just awesome people here. So if you want to, if you need support, let us know.
Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, for sure.
And Autumn has offered to volunteer on during the camp.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice.
Which I imagine there's so many ways that could happen.
Yeah, for sure.
So, all right. So some look at
Sorry,
this is fantastic.
I love it.
How's that, Autumn?
It's great. I'm definitely the robot.
That robot's pretty limber, dude.
Yeah, right?
Got some WD-40 in the back or something.
Really good joints.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah, right. And it's also got like an anglerfish head. That's I like that. Little light to lure in other dancers. Dance with me.
That's really cool. That's a great idea. Come and dance with me. Yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
So one of my odors of, oh my God, it smells business. Oh my God, business. The smell of business. One of my odors of business is I've been texting back and forth with Carrie. And I responded back with an email. It was pretty like, I feel like it was a cool email, right, to her. You guys want me to read it to you guys?
Yeah, it was a poem.
I wrote a poem back, right?
Okay,
And I
good, yeah.
I felt it was pretty good, if I get my compliments, based on what she wrote. So here I'll share what I wrote. Let's see if it switches.
Hear what she wrote if you can too. I think it it adds to
here.
Yeah.
Okay, here. You guys see this?
Yes, perfectly.
Okay. So, and then maybe I should hold on, let me do this. spotlight this for you guys. Okay. So this is what she wrote. Okay. She wrote this to Mark, right? So in him requesting that we do it at Malibu Fig Ranch. Autumn, are you familiar with Malibu Fig Ranch?
I am.
Okay.
Is that
So-
where we're doing it?
Well, was the proposal, like, that was in the works. And this is like the second, third place we're kind of looking at. We're just trying to find a place that's like regenerative farm, but also open space where, we can like
What
be
about
loud.
Sohart?
Huh?
What about Molly's farm?
Well, same with them. Like I reached out to them. I reached out to Jen, who's, is like a foster parent and everything, and really connected them. And I haven't heard back. Like, there's like no, like literally like just,
Interesting.
I don't know what's going on. People are
Did
like,
you ask Ryland?
I asked Ryland. He was like, "Oh, it's a great idea." He's like, "We'll talk," and then like no response. I have like message and no response. I hate to say, but I'm just feeling so weirded out by like I don't know. I keep experiencing this, guys, in my life, but like when people don't have the idea themselves, they get super insecure when other people have an idea. Like it's really weird. Like, I don't know. And I want to think that it's white people feel it more. Like, I feel like it happens a lot more when I do it with white people. Like, they get super insecure when they don't have ownership of something.
Interesting.
Like brown people, like no problem. Like sometimes I'll be able to collaborate with brown and black people so easily. They'll be like, whatever, bro, let's fucking do it. Like the solidarity. But like, I don't get solidarity. Like where's the solidarity? Like we're presenting something and it's like a it's all harder to me,
Yeah. I wonder if,
Okay, but
I hear this poem.
But let me hear. This is her poem.
Yeah.
Welcome to the new age, my friend. I think you're right. The farm is ideal in reference to like us doing this thing there. It's based on the reality concept that we're all guided by a signal from the ether. This is a revolution I control. All systems go. Break out of the prison bus of your mind. How's this gig work? Who gets paid? First we take Vegas, then we take China. Be led or be the Walking Dead, I always say.
It's fantastic.
Okay, all right, so this is my response, okay? We are grateful to serve the land. Thank you, Carrie, for opening your soily heart. We come in peace with pieces of pie to spin vortexes of anti-fragility, wisdom, and play. We are rooted in grass, astrally powered with a holistic business strategy to build wealth for all who co-vision. Your wisdom and experience is invited. We practice radical transparency and vulnerability with stoic, loving kindness and compassion. Allow us to serve Gaia and thus to serve you and plant seeds of self-actualization. We can amplify our collective knowing that our soil is alive and conscious, facing the challenge of our Aquarian age with the golden child within us all. Okay?
Beautiful.
Okay, watch her response. Look, this is her response.
Wow.
The earth, look, check this out. The earth is the Lord's. We don't serve the earth. Filled with dreams, but dreams are not the master. Thought comes, but thoughts are not the aim. Guided by a signal from the heavens, aligning the will with the universe, magic is a quantum kind of art of causing change to occur in conformity to that will. Silver linings may disappear, but they will always shine. Follow the light, take hold of the flame. It's never too soon for doing right. Do it now because tomorrow never comes. The word is there being flesh, guided by the beauty of our weapons, or yield unto temptation and to be ruler of the world. And all you do is let the beast come in. Okay, so I'm like, hey, like, we're trying to figure out, can you finalize? Like, that's great. I love your poem. I'm like, does that mean we can fucking do this thing, And then she responds with, Indy, my friend, remember you said you learned from your failures, more from your failures than the successes. What did you learn? You should have learned that the future is not ours to see. When you image, you're peering into the future. You're actually just dwelling in the mental instead of paying attention to the moment. And that's a choice we all have. You go there, I'll stay here. Like,
what? Okay.
And then I've been back and forth messaging with her and Mark, and she's like she's like, how much are you getting paid? How do you get paid? How do you make your money? And she's like been like texting me and not like calling or anything. And she's like been just going down this rabbit hole of like wanting to know how I make money and like where I'm like, so there's definitely some sort of trauma with her, with money, or people have messed. I can already feel that feeling like, and I'm like responding back to her. I'm like, oh, we'll even pay you to use the space, right? And she's like, where do you get your money from? I'm like, what does that matter?
Oh, wow.
Maybe
Okay.
another location would be ideal.
I mean, it's beautiful to have the poem exchange, but we got to pin some things down too.
Yeah, that second one was just like you didn't answer any question like we
No.
brought up. And then
I
that third
did.
one seems like it's just like we're now on the same page. I'm like, what?
Yeah, right. I mean, she's
That third
definitely
one was definitely
she's
not.
definitely like in her head, and definitely
Yeah.
there's trauma for sure. And then I looked her up. I was like, let me do some research, and she had a loss. She like filed a lawsuit against somebody else from a farmer's market because of an agreement that didn't go, that went sour. So already I'm getting information and data there that she's got trauma around money, right?
Oh,
Which
okay.
sucks is what the fuck? This person has property. Like we don't none of, I don't know about you guys, but I'm poor as shit. And I don't feel ever this kind of scarcity. Like I'm never worried Charlie's gonna fuck me over. I'm never worried about anybody. People gonna fuck me over. I don't even care. I'll keep giving and sharing. I don't get
Yeah.
it. How people have money and they do this, like they act like this.
So I
Yeah.
think what's happening is, and I think a lot of what's happening a lot in our culture today is that there's a shift. It's a shift happening with, you know, like this country was very predominantly white, right? And then a lot of these cities are getting very much diverse now. I mean, Houston is super diverse now, but we're a very white city. So the controllers are nervous because we have a lot of power in being free and not being locked in one thing. And a lot of people like her and them, like they know what they believe is right, and they want to be there. They don't want to adjust. And so I think there's a lot of people who have a problem with testing new things out because they've been hurt. I'm sure everybody's been hurt when you try new things. That's part of the process of trying new things. But I think there are groups of people who've been comfortable in where they are in their privilege or whatever, but they're stuck in status quo, right? And so when you change their status quo and they're comfortable, that's like a threat. So you know where we're coming from is like we're making good from the chaos we live in, right?
Right.
And so we're always trying to improve. But for them, they have controlled their chaos so that it's like they know their chaos, and anything else might make things worse is what they think, you know. So I've run into that too, and that's why like I left the tech space. I left the VC world. They're just full of shit. They just love to talk about they want to change the world, but when people show up with an idea, they don't want to do it ever. So you know, that's why I think we have to gather together to really rebuild what, you know. And a lot of these groups used to be like, the way she said it, like you have to be led. I'm like, why are we being led? That's not what we're trying to do here. I thought we were trying to be
trailblaze.
Yeah, exactly. So that, yeah.
But it's that old dominion, it's that old guard, it's the old guard, right?
Yes.
And like I sometimes worry about even like folks like Ryland and Molly, like they also mean well and everything, but I think they still are, they've learned under the old guard, right? So it's like it's not easy for them to be like, hey, really, here's all the power, you guys can share it with us here, you know. They're like, it's like they're not there yet, you know.
Yeah, I agree.
I wonder if potentially you're open to like having a kiss the ground element.
Oh yeah, that's actually a part of what we're trying to do, is have a part where the teenagers can go volunteer and interact with other nonprofits. Like that's what we wanted to create, is a bridge.
Yeah. So maybe Ryan would be open to it if it's like SOILstice in combination with Kiss the Ground for this specific event.
Totally.
So they have their name on it.
Yeah, that's fine. We're okay with that.
Yeah, he might jump at that. We'll see.
Yeah, it's just once again, like what Charlie said, I don't know. I feel this, Autumn, and like I'm being vulnerable too in this space that like, gosh, it's so weird because like you said, Charlie, like when people have rallied to come up with the idea, it's kind of like how when we know what's going to help us, like we need to take a yoga class and we know that's going to help us get over the hump, or we need to go get therapy and we know that therapy is going to really help us. It's like that. Like I'm getting that with this. It's like if somebody presented this to me, I've done enough work within myself to be like, we need to do this, you know. Let's do it. Let's make it happen.
Mhm. I mean, what about the park that Tizzle was talking about? You know,
Fun?
going to Kennethon. We don't need any, like, we can just go there, right? Like,
I mean, it's to me, it's like you're throwing, like, how many of us like have thrown like barbecue parties at parks on Saturday? Why can't we just say these are like our kids? And who cares? Like, if they don't believe it, like, I'm
Like a
sorry, we don't
polyamorous
know how.
vibe with 100
Yeah,
kids.
it could easily be all of our kids, you know, like they won't know. And we're just having a giant family barbecue, and like we're just a very diverse family.
That's true.
right.
You know, I feel like you know, this is kind of where like we do have to. I've learned when I left Disney, the only time I was doing really, really well is when I learned that those who have been running the show do never ask for permission, ever, 0%. What they always do is ask for forgiveness after they've done something and prove that it works.
Right.
No, and so where I feel like we should be doing it, I guess that's who we are. We're all hackers. We've hacked the system. We've hacked our lives so that we are still, you know, well in our life, but then supporting the world. And there are people who say they do, but it's like they're just paying their bills with like the motto of they're helping people, you know. And I think it's at a stage now where people like to say they're helping people, but we, you know, they could just be saying that's marketing. I mean, that's where we're at.
So I'm sharing this with you guys. Deanna met the couple that have this farm Terra Madre, which is like Escondido, right? And they are a couple that got they like literally got a farm handed to them by a white farmer who was like, here, the farmer gifted the whole land to this couple, and now they are doing a biodynamics, regenerative things, and they're a brown couple, and they're way more like obviously they're like us. Like,
are they poets?
Huh?
Are they poets?
They probably are poets. But I don't know if they're poets like Carrie.
We only communicate in poetry moving forward.
I think we should. I think that's something we could definitely take.
As long as we can add like a few dates in there and numbers, you know, just here and there.
Yeah, grind out that poetry a little bit, okay?
Add some Virgo.
Yes.
I'm not even Virgo, and I'm wanting that.
Exactly.
Nick, what is your sign?
I'm Scorpio with Taurus rising.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Charlie, what was your rising?
Leo. I'm
Leo.
heavy
And
Virgo, heavy Leo.
what was your moon?
Leo.
Cool.
Yeah. So
Cool.
I make education fun. That's really where I'm education and medicine, because that's Virgo's space.
It's fire and earth. Love
Yeah.
it. Indy, what was your rising and moon?
Was my rising, Charlie?
His rising is Gemini. Taurus, Gemini.
Nice. Okay,
So
I
he's a
can see
flying
that.
bull. I call him the flying bull.
Yes.
Yeah.
So cool.
So yeah, I mean, gosh, guys, I mean, what do you think? What I mean, you know what she asked me? She messaged me and she's like, can you write like she probably wants like a official thing. Like, she's like, can you write a brief comprehensive summary of all the details? Because I sent her a voice text of like, hey, here's what we need, blah, blah, blah. Here's what we can give you. I was like, hey, we'll give you $500 to use your space. I threw that out there as like an offer, you know. We paid Mushroom Farm. How much did we give Mushroom Farm, Charlie, last time?
I think it was 1,000.
1,000, right?
Yeah.
So we're like, okay, we can give you 500 for that. And I asked her, I'm like, hey, does that fit your need? Do you want to talk about it? She didn't respond anything to that. She wanted to know what I did for work. She wanted to know how I made money. I'm like, dude. I'm like, I don't make money. I just sit by a stream and let the current just wash over me. I'm just full of currency, you know.
We transform that money into doing awesome stuff. We don't just like make money.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Moves through us.
Move through us.
True solvency.
But like but the whole feeling is making me feel a little yucky. And like, even like, I mean,
Yeah.
Autumn, I'll admit to you, like the fact that like Molly, and I emailed Molly and I emailed Jessica, and like they didn't even respond. Like they didn't even respond. Like, no, we can't do this, you know?
Yeah. I just know Molly is like, she does way too much at one time. She's like so many kids and restaurants and farms, and she's moving to Texas. So it's possible that it somehow slipped under the radar.
Totally.
But maybe one more follow-up would be
Yeah.
worthwhile.
Mhm.
I can try. Yeah. Just there's like,
who's Molly again? What group or what?
So
Huh?
Molly Englehart owns Sage Bistro, and
Mhm.
she has a regenerative farm in Fillmore called Sohart Farm.
Okay.
That would be pretty
You
perfect.
talked about her, right? Yeah,
Mhm.
I remember that.
that's actually where Molly and I met. I mean, Molly, Autumn and I met.
Yes.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Was there. And they do have a
Mm.
stream there too, like a literal stream.
Yeah, that place is amazing. The photos you showed us.
So
I mean, we're closing in on the date really fast. So like, I feel like if we don't get any confirmations from people within the next like couple of days, we maybe can commit to like a place where we don't need a confirmation from anybody, you know?
At least as a backup. Yeah.
Yeah. Like the
Uh,
park.
the park,
Yeah.
I mean, there's a bunch of parks in LA that we could do it at.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm
There
trying to
may also be some parks that we can do it at that are also next to, my buddy has a thing called Crop Swap LA, and he actually like regenerates people's front yards, and like different buildings have yards, and he flips them to be producing vegetables in the
Okay,
in the
that's
inner
cool.
city
Yeah.
around LA.
That's awesome. Yeah. Yeah.
So we can integrate with him too. Let me see, I can show you guys what he does. But I mean, at the very least, my buddies, the ones who do the Long Beach, the community healing, you know them.
Yeah.
Nick. We can
Yeah.
always do a park in like Long Beach and
Mm.
be able to do it with their community.
That'd be awesome. Yeah, sure. I mean, they already have a place where they bring lots of people, right? So
Right.
I mean, that's the thing. Like, whoever we partner with, like they have to kind of know now, right? Because
Right.
like, just to get it out to their community.
It's got to, yeah, we got to start. I mean, like with it by this weekend, we need to be telling parents and communities, you know, what's
Mhm.
happening. So I'm going to share this link with you guys. Check this out. This is my buddy. This is his company. And a really genuine, awesome homie who's just like
Oh,
focused
nice.
on like regenerating like his communities. And he's got a daughter too, you know, himself. So
Crop swap.
yeah, and you know, I mean, at the end of the day, one of these days he's going to be one of those people that's going to be like a visiting, like, you know, like a educator for our play shops too.
Mhm.
definitely. I just feel like someone's got to have a house where they have like a little regenerative farm. I have a friend in Malibu, Bruce, and he's turned his like estate into a full regenerative farm. The only issue is that all of his land is like on a curve, like hillside. So it's not ideal.
Mhm.
But there's gotta be something like that.
Well, we're about to do something with Birdhouse, which is basically that. Have you been to the Birdhouse in Hollywood? It's a
No, I haven't
regenerative
heard of
farm
it.
in a backyard. It's also like a community center, so you could like go to one of their. I think their next art and ecology day is on the 18th of this month.
So how about
Yeah.
this? I just thought about something. If we really wanted to hack the whole thing, is what if Earth was our secondary element, but we use air as our first, and we skip the entire farming and make it a second, like our second or third experience where we have pictures and we can show it and just say, we're just coming to breathe together, and then start with that element, and then that's it. We don't need any other three elements. We don't need fire, water, or earth. And then
We're just gonna get high on air.
yeah, and I mean, today air is a big deal because we're not breathing enough of it, right? So what if like we teach these kids how to breathe correctly, do some breath and then say like, if you really like this, we're really working to get into a farm, and then maybe we like put that on video, and then we can throw it out there and see who, as the farmers, want to come to us. You know, it's funny. The old paradigm is go to what you need. The new paradigm is, if the law of manifestation works, why are we just not attracting this, right? Because we keep, and this is kind of where like going to them, they think they have the power, so they can say no. Hey, fine. If we actually create something that's awesome, that it's super free, they're gonna be like, how did you do this for free? Can we join you? No, because unless you like are looking to like help us, like we're not necessarily, you know, because this is really important to us. And I think, you know, like I know we're running into obstacles, but that's also technically the fourth element, which is physical earth. It's physical challenges. With air, there's none besides just wearing a stupid mask to keep your air from coming in. But like that's the last element that hasn't been really bastardized, right? Like we lost water, right? We pay for water, we pay for earth, but we can barely even get land to go do this, and you know, and then we pay for all our food and vegetables. So I mean, like, and then fire is electricity and power. We pay for that too. So if we kind of went at it like we're going to do breath work and teaching breathing, and that's still, I guess, popular that we talk about breath work. And then from there, we can say, hey, tune in 4 months when we get a farm, right? And that could be like our push to really, you know, say, hey, guys, because then we can say, we've done this really awesome event. Here's a couple pictures, and we're looking for farms who are willing to work with us. And then just say we're looking at other people. And then, because if we're coming very desperate, they can choose to say that, then that's bust us, and then now we're stuck in this like not able to do what I think we, you know, our passion is, you know.
Yeah.
I'm all about just breaking creative blocks. So if this is a creative block, let's just switch to a different element that nobody can really monopolize. Control, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at, you know. And we can do, I mean, laughing is breathing, right? That's air. You know, we can music, right? I'll bring my uke, we can sing, that's dancing, that's all air, fire. So, you know, I think we can kind of avoid a lot of this to really get us to focus more on what we're going to do for the kids rather than finding a space for it. Because we've been at it for almost 2 months now. Everything has really been like really stopping us. So that's kind of my way of hacking this this first.
I like the way you think. So one more question on the earth element is sticking with that. Is Ojai too far?
So we have Tizo. She's like, Ojai, we could do something there. She totally has it, but we have to get there. So if we can get like something to take all the kids, because that might not be easy for us to take the kids there.
Well, that's the other,
not the kids.
The other thing, we still don't have a confirmed group of students, right? Or do we at this point? No.
And I think that's our next thing, right? So since we don't have a place, it's really hard to get to the next one. And I kind of want to say, let's just hack this part so we can get to the kids. Otherwise, we can't get to the kids if we don't have a place.
That's the thing, right? Especially, I mean, I have contacts for some parents that are interested for their teenagers, but like it's just important for us to like communicate like it's going to be at this place, right? Because that's you know.
Yeah. I mean, you know, we could easily also have a place where there's a grill. There's some fire there.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's like a few places, right? We can do it at the beach, right? That's like an easy place to do it, right? Whether it's like Venice.
And there's still some restriction with beach because they have lifeguards driving around, and you know.
But still, I've done like events like
ecstatic dance,
yeah. Okay.
And I did a Civic Engagement festival. I was like all day, and we got a speaker out there, and like they didn't stop us to do anything, you know.
Yeah.
And we had
I think that's how we should really try to pull this one off first.
Right.
A lot of people want to see things we do, so if it's like the first time, like more people are reluctant to like, you know, sadly give us a chance. So let's just hack it.
So what if I've been using this philosophy a lot in what I've been approaching things, like thinking about the floor and the ceiling, right? And like, or the, you know, the glass floor, the glass ceiling. So, you know, glass ceiling, all right, like Carrie or Molly or whatever goes like, oh my God, you guys are doing incredibly progressive, awesome, evolved stuff. And we're actually gonna donate money to you. We're gonna fund this. We're gonna like we're gonna get behind because this is gonna support the earth. It's gonna support the soil. It's gonna support children and teenagers. It's gonna be like super, they're gonna like be like, here's a bunch, here's whatever you need. We'll give it to you, right? That's Zuckerberg comes and he's like, yo, here's like a bunch of cryptocurrency, do what you want to do. And then Elon Musk like, here's like some Tesla so you can drive they'll self-drive the kids they'll pick them up.
Made you Tesla bus.
The Tesla
Yeah, the Tesla bus.
The Tesla tanks will pick up the kids and then distribute the food throughout the community afterwards. Okay, that's the glass ceiling, all right, whatever, the glass like all the way into space. The glass floor, right, could be like the beach, like Venice Beach or Long Beach, the beach itself, or it could be like a popular park on a that would be great to do on a Sunday or Saturday.
Yeah.
Right.
Or
That's a
even
good
like
glass floor.
Balboa. Yeah, that's good. Like Balboa Park would be great.
Wait, which one's Balboa?
It's in like Encino off of Balboa Boulevard. It's a giant park. I think they have some farming elements.
Oh yeah,
but
right.
It's huge. Like we could. They have a lot of like vegan festivals and.
Balboa Park is the one in San Diego?
No. Balboa Park in Encino. They had Holy Festival.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's all the park.
Whoa.
I have been to Balboa Park.
It's huge. Yeah.
In that area.
Or like Balboa Preserve.
Oh, there's a Japanese garden there too, huh?
Yeah.
That's not that bad, right? North of 405 101.
No.
It's drivable, right?
Very accessible.
Yeah.
Very.
Okay.
Wait a minute, where are we here? Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Oh,
Yeah, 605 101. I'm
Oh,
sorry,
yeah,
405. 605 is where I am. 405.
oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's very central.
Parking is great.
I don't think I've ever been there.
Yeah.
Kenneth Hahn is more on the east side, right? Or
Yeah, that's where. Yeah, supposedly.
Balboa Park. And my thing too, like, in my experience, like when like the event that we did, the Civic Engagement, I'm not even joking, guys. This was like right before the pandemic. We did a Civic Engagement festival.
Yeah,
right?
I was there.
You were there, Mick?
Yeah.
Duh, right? And so Mick can attest, people were just walking up and joining because they saw what we were doing. And they're like, what's going on? And we'd actually like, we were kind of like, what it called, evangelical about it, right? Like we were like, hey, like, and when people are curious, we're like, hey, come over, come like check it out, right? And like when people are just feigning any curiosity. So there's some element of doing it in some place, there's a lot of traffic and like the traffic is moving,
It's a good idea. It's like doing like a flash mob, like a flash mob of education. And
But we're like a sustained flash mob,
Yeah. Well, it'd be great, like on the Saturday when like parents are out with their kids and then looking to do something with the kids. Yeah.
I mean, I say that I throw up. I mean, we could throw this out to the whole community and see how they feel. And Autumn, do you have WhatsApp?
I do.
I'll loop you into our WhatsApp group, right? And I'll put a feeler out there for the group of like, hey, like, what do you prefer? Like beach, park, like a public park, like like Balboa or Han or the beach or whatever, right? For me personally, I like the beach just because people are going there naturally on the weekend, like that's a family thing to go to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the beach too. I miss it.
And you guys are flying in, like Charlie's flying in from Texas. Jackie may come in from Buffalo. she definitely needs the beach, Mick needs a beach. He's coming from East LA.
Yeah, I'm by parks already.
So with the beach though, will we be, I mean, we're gonna have some coverage because that might be pretty hot versus at the parks, there might be some cover or stuff.
I can borrow some tents from like
Okay,
community
cool.
healing.
Nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what we did last time.
Okay.
Oh,
If
this
I
is
was there, I
community
haven't
healing?
used yet, but huh?
So how many kids are we expecting?
I mean, the aim was to do get at least 10.
Oh, okay. I have an idea. So I have these friends who have a farm down the street in Tarzana. It's called Creation Family Farm.
Oh.
And these guys are so on the wavelength. They do sound healing. They grow microgreens. They have Regenerative Farm. They grow Ayurvedic herbs.
What?
And they do a bunch of farm tours. They love educating. So I was thinking, we're not going to have too many, maybe not more than 20 kids, this would be an ideal place.
20 kids is definitely doable. We need think more than 20, right? At least for the first one.
Yeah.
And it's such a beautiful place. We could get a lot of great content for the next events.
Yeah. Is this them?
Yeah, this is them.
This is great. I already saw earthworms and grubs. And I'm like,
Yes.
you guys are cool.
And I love to be able to connect with them with the herb cards. Because what if we can like actually turn all the things they're growing into cards and then teach the kids what they're growing too?
Yeah, Timothy is I don't see him in that picture. Nate is a Capricorn and Timothy's an Aquarius. They're all into it.
Oh, that's a good combo.
They're growing their own spirulina in their own little spirulina pond.
What?
Really, really cool. And they love sharing what they're doing.
Wow. Okay. That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Ooh, look at that hat.
That's cool.
yeah, that's Timothy. Timotry.
Aquarius. He's the Aquarius, right?
Yes.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yes, absolutely.
I love them. They're so cute.
Yeah, they're great people.
Yeah, if you want to put out a feeler.
Definitely. Is there any budget for location or?
I mean, I threw out to Carrie, I said 500.
Okay.
So I guess we can keep, are you guys cool with that?
Yeah.
And I'm going to throw in personally some money into that. Whoever wants to like put in whatever you guys want to. Mark said he would throw in money too.
Yeah, I absolutely will. Okay, well, let me give Nate a call. And I don't see why. So is the event on a Saturday or Sunday?
So we haven't fixed that yet, but but right now Tizzle messaged us back and she said Saturday morning she took off.
Yeah.
So we're like looks like we have to do Saturday the 25th.
Okay, because they do farmers markets on Sundays, so that would probably be better. Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah. So just space wise, we would need. They have like little table areas. So would we have one group of kids kind of going through the whole process together, or would we need like separate areas?
We must separate them in the same area, but we're not going to separate too much. I mean, we don't think we have enough adults to chaperone groups. So
Yeah.
It's going to be more like almost like a modular thing. They're going through like these different play shops, these different elemental play shops.
Okay, cool. Super cool. Yeah, I think it should be big enough. It's not a huge farm. I mean, like it's a house and they totally like redid the whole front area. So it's definitely workable.
Cool. And also like, this looks like they have volunteers. A part of what we want to do is integrate what we're doing. The play shops have them do a volunteering through the play shops. Cool. So if they have stuff they need to do, we can integrate, like even my neuroplasticity thing, I can integrate connecting with the fungi, actually working with the fungi, like whatever needs to be done on the land, you know?
For sure.
We're trying to really be a way to actually create field trips, right? I mean, because this is where kids are going to grow up and they need to know these places. So we're really kind of creating a space to allow the kids to connect to their community. So that's really the push for a lot of these places. You know, maybe we need to like sell it that way. Maybe they don't understand that it's to get people there, not just to teach, but actually to get more people involved in farming.
Definitely. That's a great angle.
Yeah.
I
mean, where do you start? Obviously with the kids, because they're going to keep growing and keep doing it.
Yeah.
And they're going to inspire their parents or grandparents when they go home and they do it at home, you know?
Yeah. Start young, because our age, we're too busy to like, you know? So before kids, like it's perfect because they would really love it. Organite, Vinci, and plaster. Whoa.
No, these guys are next level. You're gonna vibe with them.
Oh, they combine some tech stuff. Nice. I like it.
Yes.
Yeah, education workshop. Like it totally fits.
Wow.
They would, I mean, I'm sure they would love to have their own little play shop too.
Yeah. Oh, we definitely would like love to have them, involved.
Mhm.
You could find some elemental configuration around the
Yeah.
elements for that. Cool.
And we can do them on like honorary like cosmic labyrinth badges of like the Aquarius and the Capricorn. So right, because everybody's got an astrology. So like, totally like go right in.
Yeah, absolutely. Sweet. Well, I will definitely give them a call.
Cool. And
Cool.
even
Nice.
this too, who knows? Maybe we can support them more once we get like videos and stuff made. Like get them even more support,
Yeah.
For sure.
Cool.
Oh,
my
so they're
God.
like tuning fork on all their microgreens.
Everything is tuned.
Wow.
Dude, that's
They walk
amazing.
around their farm with like these pyramids on their heads. I think they're
Yeah, I
so
saw that hat
cool.
he was wearing.
Yeah.
This is like sound powers here. Here we go.
Yes.
That's
They're
what I was
very
doing. That's what I
awake.
was doing in Maui on the farm. I had my singing bowls and I was playing it to everything I was growing and the seeds.
I love it.
Totally down.
Dude, okay. Where are they at? Where is this at?
They're in Tarzana. I can give you the address so you
Yeah.
can.
How far is Tarzana? Is this
It's not far from Encino. It's right off the 101.
okay? Oh, it is. Yeah, north, that's right.
Do you want to type in this address?
Yeah, I'll type it.
Oh, oh, it's actually
It's-
coming up. Yeah.
18801
18801. Hold on.
Irwin Street.
18011.
Or sorry, 18801 Irwin Street, Tarzana, California.
Oh, yeah, it's super close to.
Super centrally located.
Yeah.
Wait, why am I looking at realtor.com?
All right.
Detour.
Wow, look at that place. Oh, whoa, they're right by an electric line too, so they're keeping it tuned with the electric line right by. That's great.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, so they're right off the freeway. Awesome.
Yeah, it's very easy to access.
This is awesome. Okay, cool. So it's more like, and probably now, even with like knowing this area, I can reach out to people who live in that area to get like, get youth that are closer. So it's easier.
Definitely.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet. There's a Sikh Gurdwara there too, Mick.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I can hit them up and be like, yo,
Cool.
any ancestral farmers, kids
Yeah,
here?
yeah.
A lot of Autumn, a lot of people from like my culture like have been disassociated from the farms for like just one generation because they had to leave India. They kind of got their farmland taken away by the government, by whatever stuff, drama, politics. And so like they're disconnected from the farming, and a lot of substance abuse is happening because that the ones that are here, because they're like disconnected.
I'm
Absolutely.
2 generations. We had farms in Vietnam and we lost everything. So I know it too. Yeah. That's why I'm trying to rebuild a farm here in Houston.
All right, we're gonna Autumn, we're gonna do one in Houston, okay? In the future.
Yes. Come Houston, Austin. We're gonna take over the Texas state here.
Yeah, we're gonna build a Merca bus.
Yes,
Oh.
worker bus.
Elon will come to that one.
Yes.
Definitely. But like, here, eat these mushrooms before you enter.
It's like I already had them for breakfast.
Exactly. Okay. Any other orders of business?
Well, so I'll call Nate, but just, is there anything that needs to be done kind of preparing for the little workshops?
You want to give her also like our website and maybe some links so that if you wanted to talk to them more about what we're looking to do, so that because we broke things down so anyone can understand really like what we're trying to do overall. So you can kind of also explain that we're trying to do just a test this time, but the goal is to make this a ongoing thing so that we always have students and people coming in to really learn the 4 elements, really.
Yep. We have this 2-pager. I'll send you
Okay,
this
great.
2-pager, right? And it'll give you like more of a breakdown of like, how we're approaching it holistically, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll also share this with you. which is kind of like a pitch deck we created that like, goes over like the who, like more like detailed of like, kind of like what is also the, like the logistics of it. Here are like some examples of case studies of like kids who go through the program, what happens, right? Kind of like how we're approaching the elements and looking at partnerships for that, right? What are the benefits? What are the people who are already involved, right? Some of the already thing, what are our principles and our ethics, right? And we even have this page, but this is, you can ignore this, but this kind of just gives a more of like a detail, right? So it depends on does somebody need this to understand, or does somebody need visuals, right? And then I'll share this with you, and this is kind of like our play shops already, right, too. So
awesome. Sweet. And then add me to the WhatsApp group as well, and I'll update you guys when I connect with Nate.
Nice.
Yay.
Autumn, thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
You're already
No
so
coincidences. all
None.
planned.
And I was only inviting you because you make vegan cookies. That was the only thing I'm interested in.
Well, also, of course, I'll make a bunch of vegan cookies. But it was the piñata moment. And also when the kids were swinging at it, Indy was like, visualize your goals. Like, manifest the piñata breaking open. Laughter. It's so funny.
Yeah, by the way, this is one of the best things I love about this process. No matter how like challenging it's been, I've really enjoyed like just like navigating this like uncomfortability and whatever, but also like how we are paving a new thing. Like when does stuff happen this way? I don't remember being a part of anything like this before.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, this is special. One more thought that came to mind. I have a friend, Steven, who lives in Eagle Rock, and he's got this crazy farm. He's a Zen master, and he just expresses it through his gardening. And he doesn't control it, but he lets it go as it wants. And it's just the most magnificent garden with the most exotic fruits. And he loves sharing his farm. And I don't think it's big enough for what we need, but there are a lot of people like this who have things that they want to share, especially in that world. So it would be cool to do like little garden tours, like a series of tours, maybe once a month.
Yeah, a Mercator. Go to farms.
Like, how there's like star sighting or whatever.
Yeah. Because I think it's super important to see actually the farming in the homes in the city, because that really like redefines that farming is still in the city. You don't have to go out in the country to really have farming. It
can be fruit sighting tours.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That's so awesome. Just do it.
And you get to eat the fruits too. Mind you too, one of the things that, because I've had experience being a mentor for youth, teaching them how to do film production and how to create their own storytelling, whether it's documentary or narrative storytelling. And that's something I do envision with us eventually, is like some of these, especially the older kids, that like share, the ones who like are excited about storytelling, like giving them the ability, the tools and the ability to be able to go and actually go to some of these farms like you're talking about, like Steve's, and like be able to like make a short documentary and put it on YouTube or TikTok or Instagram, like finding their ways of like sharing stories,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's definitely an interest of mine with this, is like empowering them to become storytellers about all of this.
Or at least meaningful stories on social media, because some of us don't need to know about what they ate. Let's talk about farms. Not that I don't mind, but sometimes you're just like, no, that's not very useful, guys. Virgo speaking, obviously.
Show me what you ate if it's what your grandma cooked. And I mean,
if you grew it yourself,
right?
Some of us want to know, how did that come out? Because if that didn't come out right, probably not good for you.
Documentary poop. That's what we want to see. We want to see the documentation of poop.
Let's be real here. Let's go deeper.
Why don't all of our meetings go to poop eventually at some point?
It's the alpha
all
and
my
omega.
Conversations go to poop. In TCM, all my conversations always go to poop. So I'm always thinking about poop. I know your health based on your poop.
Exactly. It's the beginning and the ending right there. It's wrapped right in. It's the
what is your body
Ouroboros.
producing, so we know what kind of either toxins or health you're creating, right?
Totally. Charlie, I was there was a buddy wanting me to come and stay at his place in Maui, and I was like, all right, what can I offer, like, for your farm, to stay at your Regenerative Farm? He's like, oh, I need somebody to build a compost toilet, and I'm like,
nice.
oh, I'm like, I've never done that, but that'd be cool to learn. Like, it's a good challenge, like,
Yeah.
okay, I
mean,
don't know how to
Nick
do it.
knows a bit. He
Wait,
talks a lot about it, right? The
Yeah,
straw poop thingy. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure, totally. I've actually never built one myself either, but I've like studied quite a bit about it. So
Yeah, I'm sure we can
you
figure
want
it
to come
out.
with me to Maui, Mick, for a couple of weeks and help build one?
I would love to.
build a
Wait, when?
compost.
Like
Yeah.
this summer, I would do it.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, but it would have to be before this event, which is probably not logistically good.
We're gonna get stuck in the hole, dude.
Exactly. I mean, maybe right after I get back from all the other travel that I'm doing.
Autumn, do you know anything about compost toilets?
I do actually.
Ooh,
I could probably build one. I lived on a farm in on the Big Island and used one exclusively for a few months.
Nice. There we go.
I'm gonna have to pick your poop. I mean your brain.
I don't think it's too difficult.
No, right? I don't think so.
No, I think you
No.
probably just have to buy a few key elements and then.
But if you want to make it like super special,
I want to make it super special.
then
So-
you need to do two, one side by side, and then you let the barrel fill up on one side, and you move over to the other toilet, and then you let it kind of like do its composting over there, fill the other one up, then go over to the other one, and it's like you've pulled that barrel out, and you're like using that compost, and you fill that other one.
Yeah, I'm
Alright.
also interested in taking the pee and turning that into electricity.
Oh yeah.
That's also my interest.
I did a project with that actually in an artist residency. Yeah. it
You
was-
know, I thinking
Yeah.
about where we're going with this. This is the future of what we can do. Actually, is we would have our own projects too, to go to these places to do like the bigger project, but let the kids do like the easier stuff. But like we could totally do like, because I mean, we're all pretty smart here, nerds, right? And we can do things with our hands. So I think we could probably figure some things out.
Oh yeah.
But that'd be fun projects. I would love
That
to.
would be really fun. I like that a lot.
Yeah. Like field tripping and then going to places to like build something sustainable. That sounds like a lot of fun.
We're like,
Yeah.
go ahead, Autumn.
I just think it's a nice serotonin hit because kids are on their phone so much now. I think something like that would give them a lot of fulfillment.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, we're like, here, have some cocoa leaves. I mean, get to work.
Like child labor.
Well, you know, I mean, back in the days, that was really who ran the farm, are the kids. I mean, you know, and not to say that they were slave labor. Like our culture, we had kids for slave labor. Like
It can get
straight
pretty low.
up
Kids can
Asian.
get low, dude. If you want to get some of those weeds, you got it. The kids got it.
Yeah.
It's hard to get down there. I had to channel my inner child to get down there in some of those weeds.
And I think the reason why the kids don't is because they think that like they have something cooler on, you know, to do. But like if they had nothing else to do, they would love to just hang out in a farm, you know. And I think that's like why we really have to really bring in these things are like, you know, much like connects back to the earth and the elements.
And you get to drive like tractors and 4x4s all over the place. That's
Yes.
awesome.
Mhm.
Totally awesome.
Electric, right?
Electric.
Elon for that.
Key
Elon, we
powered-
need agricultural machines, electric, right? Like a solar powered tractor. I mean, wouldn't that make sense?
Yeah.
You're in the
Yeah.
sun the whole day, anyways.
Cool.
Isn't that called a horse-drawn wagon? That's a solar powered tractor.
Well, it's more hay powered. I don't think it's solar powered. It's
Well,
more
that
hay
the
powered.
sun powered the hay and the hay
Okay.
powered the horse, you know, so.
Yeah, what
That's very true.
Wait,
But
who's
we could,
that?
you know-
Autumn?
This is my little dog.
Oh,
You wanna see? You wanna see? Come here.
Oh, little dog.
You wanna see?
He's a
Hi.
wizard. He's a wizard.
He is. He looks like a human. Come here, babe. He wants to play with his ball.
Simple,
Yeah,
the
that's-
simple things.
He's a character.
The thing that you're looking at right now, Andy, is I'm gonna visit this farm tomorrow, so I'm gonna suss it
Cool.
out and get a sense of. I mean, it's also on a hill. They're very much just like growing vegetables to sell, right? But just get to see what they did, and we're trying to implement something like this at our school. So
Cool.
we're going to a couple of different farms for ideas in the
Cool.
next
Yeah.
few days here. So if I sense a good vibe, then maybe it could be for a future rendition or something like that too. But
Cool
yeah,
if they're part of the Kiss the Ground.
yeah.
Yeah. And then one more thing that comes to mind is Muse School. Have you guys heard of the Muse School?
Mm-mm.
I'm you?
It's MUSE, Muse School. It's in Malibu. It's completely plant-based. They make all of their own lunches. Most of the stuff is from the garden at the school. So it would be kind of cool to do it somewhere like that. I'm not sure what they would charge or how that would work, but yeah,
Cool.
Mm.
Cool.
it's kind of far out, but
Cool. This is awesome. So I'm partially excited about this spot. Not this spot. What was the other one? This
The
one.
Creation?
creation, yeah.
Yeah.
oh,
that's-
creation's a
that's
big
the
yeah.
vibe.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think they're gonna say yes as well. So I'll keep you guys posted.
Cool.
And let us know if they respond in convoluted poetry.
Oh, I can guarantee you they won't. I'm talking to the Capricorn, so
Oh, yeah,
Good,
okay.
good.
They just
Nice.
respond with a Merkaba. They're like, here's a Merkaba. Can you have them sign this Merkaba, please?
Exactly.
Here, we got you. You know? Awesome. All right. Any other orders of business? We're solid. We feel good. Everybody feels good.
Yeah.
feeling earthy.
Yes.
Feeling earthy. May we all have great poops.
Yes. So the question is, isn't like poop really funny to kids? So what happened where it's became like no talking about it? Like it's very American actually, because other cultures we talk about poop all the time actually, but in America,
Charlie, one of my cousins, he's a gastroenterologist, right? And he used to be one in New York, and now he's in Florida. But we used to always joke around because he like saw so many different patients from all walks of life, and he said a lot of people don't admit it. But he's like, him personally in New York City, he said 85% of his patients had constipation.
Mm.
85%.
Very
85%
common.
of his
It is
patients
very
overall, just like even general checkups.
They're probably eating no fiber.
No
Mhm.
fiber,
It's
alcohol,
a lot of meat, yeah, meat,
Much
alcohol,
salt.
meats, yeah,
Coffee.
yeah.
coffee.
Coffee,
So people are
anxiety.
so Charlie, when you're constipated, you don't want to talk about poop.
Right, because you don't know it exists.
It's also triggering, right? Because like
It
if people are
is.
talking about poop, you're like, fuck, I can't poop. And so you like don't want to deal with it, you know?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
That's probably why it keeps getting worse, right? It's the stuff we
And
don't talk about.
And
You
also
hold
think
it,
about-
they hold it in and it doesn't come out.
Yes, yeah.
and then also think about that with your serotonin levels, your all these other things that are associated with your gut. So if you're not pooping, there's all this like all these receptors that are not releasing serotonin and dopamine in your gut.
Mhm.
So people are unhappy because their
Totally.
guts are stuck.
We run into a lot of people who have headaches and head tension because what isn't going down, right? Cause it up. Because it's really like how the water, you've seen those water, we have to poke a hole and the water comes out.
Hmm.
It's the same idea. It's that if you don't have free flow, it will restrain everything. So a lot of times people have headaches and tension and tight muscles is because they're not free flowing. Because they're holding, and just going back metaphysically, they're holding everything in.
For
So
sure.
are you saying we should have an enema at our camp too? Enema party? Enema dance party?
Probably the 10th one, not the second, third one.
He'll never come back.
Yeah. We don't have to go all the way to the enema. We can definitely eat better.
That's what we do.
Yeah.
For
I
the
got some
parents.
gluten cookies that might help.
Exactly. Get some
Microgreens
berries,
if we're going to a farm.
foraging. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
But if by the third time we're all going to farms and they're not pooing, yes, we'll consider it.
No, that's what we'll do for the parents. That's a retreat for the parents, you know?
Take the stick out of their butts. That's probably where the stick on your butt like came from, right? The idiom of sticking up your butt. It's like, yeah, you're probably not pooping. That's why you're stressed out. Yeah.
Because you don't want to actually put a stick up your butt. That Maybe that's how
Exactly.
you unclog it. All right. Autumn, we're not always this gross, okay?
Darn.
We are this gross, but like it's conscious grossness. It's conscious, it's holistic grossness.
Oh my goodness. All right, I'm gonna jump off and give Nate a call before it gets too late.
Yes, thank you.
But
Yay.
so good meeting you all. It's
It
gonna
was
be
great
fun.
meeting you,
Likewise.
Autumn.
All right.
Definitely
Bye.
meet you
Wonderful to
soon in
meet you.
person.
Pardon?
Yeah.
I'll get to meet you in person
Yes,
soon. I'll be there.
absolutely. All right, bye y'all.
Bye
Thank
bye.
you guys, Mick, Charlie, I
Ciao.
love you guys.
Bye. See you
Much
guys.
love.
Have a great
You guys
day.
posted.
Cool.
Peace.
Bye. Bye.
Peace. Bye.
Stop the recording.